Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be solving the paper 1 of November 2023 attempt, and this is math EASN. So let's start. We have the first question here where we are given a cosine curve, right? And yeah, from this curve first we need to find the value of A, which is basically the amplitude. So first things first we have to find the mean line, right? Mean line is the middle line of the cos curve. How do I find this? So minus 5 and 5, these are the endpoints. So minus 5 plus 5 by 2, which gives me 0. So your x-axis is the mean line, right? And to find the amplitude, we have to find the distance between the mean line and the maximum point. So from 0, the maximum point is 5. So from here, I can say that the value of A is equal to 5. Now the next part, we have to find the period of this function f. To find the period, we can find the distance between two consecutive crests. So yeah, if I want to find the distance between them, this is basically pi. So pi is the time period of this graph. So time period would be pi. Now next is we have to find the value of this b. To find b, basically, like, we can use this formula. So time period is basically, if you're given an equation, you can do 2 pi by b. Like 2 pi, whatever is 2 pi, we have to divide it with whatever is multiplied with x. Right, so here, so b would be 2 pi by t, right? So from here, b would be 2 pi, time period is pi, so b would become 2. From this, b becomes 2. Right? In the next part, we have to find the value of f of pi by 6. So first, fx, this thing becomes, we'll just plug in the value. So 5 cos 2x after plugging in the values of a and b. Then we'll do f of pi by 6, which is replacing x with pi by 6. It becomes 5 cos 2 times pi by 6 is pi by 3, right? And cos pi by 3 is half, so it's 5 by 2. So f of pi by 6 would become 2.5, which is the answer to the third part. Part C. Yeah. So moving on to the next question, we have two functions fx and gx. We need to find the expression for f of gx. F of gx, okay. Not g of fx, sorry. So g of x, this will be g of fx, right? First plug in fx inside, so g of x minus 3. And what happens is g is x square minus y square. We have to replace x with x minus 3. Right? So this thing, if you simplify, it becomes x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus k square. That is the answer to part A. So part B, we are given that g of f of 2 is 10, so we have to find the value of k. So g of f of 2 will be replace x with 2. Yeah. So g of f, this becomes 10, right? And the right hand side, it will be like 4 minus 12 plus 9. This will be k square, plus k square. So upon simplification, we'll see that k square is, k square becomes 9. So k would be either plus 3 or k would be minus 3. These are the two possible values of k. And with that, we are done with question 2. We can move on to question 3. So yeah, so even C and B says that PA is 0.65, PB is 0.75, A intersection B is 0.6. You have to find the value of A union, probability of A union B. So for the first part, we can actually use a Venn diagram. It will be pretty simple to solve. So let's say this is A and this is B. Right, so this is event A and this is event B. So yeah, probability of A intersection B is 0.6. So the common part between A and B, this thing should be 0.6. Yeah. So the part inside A but not an intersection would be 0.65 minus 0.6, which is 0.05. So 0.05 here. And the part in B, which is not inside the intersection, it will be 0.75 minus 0.6, which is 0.15. So yeah, we found it. Now if I want to just solve for the part outside A and B, it will be 1 minus 0.6 minus 0.5 minus 0.15, which becomes 0.2. This is the part outside. Right, so to find P of A union B, we have to add up all the probabilities which are inside these two circles, right? All the probabilities inside. It will be 0.05 plus 0.6 plus 0.15, which is 0.8. This is P of A union B. Now we have to find P of A prime intersection B prime. Now P of A prime, if I just want to draw another Venn diagram, let's try to understand which part they are talking about. This is A, this is B. A prime means everything other than A. So this red area is A prime, right? And our B prime is everything other than B, right? So this green area would be the B prime. So we see that other than these two circles, everything like A and B, I mean like the green portions and the red portions are together. So P of A prime intersection B prime is everything other than these two circles. So it should be 0.2. This is the answer to part B. And answer to part A would be 0.8. So yeah, with this we are done with question 3. Moving on to question 4. The sum of in terms of a arithmetic sequence is given by Sn equals Pn square minus Qn, where P and Q are positive constants. Given that S4 is 40, S5 is 60, we have to find the values of P and Q. So yeah, so Sn is given as Pn square minus Qn. So S4 means we'll replace n with 4. So P of 4 square minus Q of 4. So S4 is 40. 40 would be 16p minus 4q. I can take out 4 from the right hand side and divide the left hand side with it. So we'll be left with 4p minus q equals 10. This is one equation. And another thing is S5 is 60. So S5 would be p of 5 square minus q of 5. So 65 equals 25p minus 5q. So again, I can take a 5 common. I can write 5p minus q equals 13. So we have two simultaneous equations and two variables, so we can definitely solve for P and Q. How would I solve it? If this is 2 and this is 1, I'll do 2 minus 1. I'll subtract 1 from 2. So what I'll get is 5p minus q equals 13. Then I'll subtract it. So 4p minus q equals minus 10. So this will give me 5p minus 4p minus q plus q equals 13 minus 10. Upon simplification, I get p would be equal to 3. This is one solution, p equals 3. I can put this p equals 3 in any one of the equations, I'll get the value of q. So 4 times 3 minus q would be equal to 10. So 12 minus q is 10. So q would be equal to 12 minus 10, which is 2. Therefore, p equals 3, q equals 2. This will be the answer to part A. Next, I have to find the value of u5. So I'll just add another page here. Yeah, u5. Okay. So for u5, we can actually use the values of s4 and s5 to get u5. Thing is, like s5 is the sum of the first 5 terms, and s4 is the sum of the first 4 terms. So s5 can be written as u1 plus u3 plus u4 plus u5, right? And s4 can be written as u1 plus u2 plus u3 plus u4, sum of the first 4 terms. So s5 is basically s4 plus u5. So if I want to find u5, I can do s5 minus s4. So S5 is 65 and S4 is 40. 60. So U5 becomes 65 minus 40. So yeah, finally we'll get U5 as 25, which will be the answer to part B. So yeah, we can now move on to the next question. Now question 5, it's a trigonometry problem. We have to find the area of triangle ABC. AB is like lengths AB and AC are given, and we have the cosine of the angle in between, cosine of angle A. Right. To find the area of a triangle, we can use the sine formula. Okay. In this case, the area would be half of sine formula means if you should take multiply the lengths with the lengths of the two sides and with the sine of the angle in between the two sides, right? So it's AB times AC sine of angle or sine of BAC. Okay. AB is root 6, AC is 10, and you have sine of B of AC. So it will be 5 root 6 sine B AC. Right. We have to find well now we have to find the value of sine BAC. The value of cos BAC is given to you here. So sine square BAC plus cos square BAC. This will be equal to 1. So sine square BAC would be 1 minus 1 by 5 whole square, which is 1 by 25. Yeah. This will be 1 minus 1 by 25, which is 25 minus 1 by 25. Finally gives you 24 over 25. This is sine square BAC. Right. From here, sine of BAC would be root under 25, 24 over 25. Root 25 is 5. Root 24 is 4 times 6, so I can write it as 2 root 6. So finally the area would be 5 root 6 times 2 root 6 by 5. 5 and 5 will cancel out. So finally we'll be left with 2 times 6, that is 12. And you have to use the unit, so its area, so it will be 12 centimeters square, which is the answer to this question. And yeah, we can move on to the next one, which is question 6. So the binomial expansion of 1 plus kx to the power of n is given by 1 plus 12x plus 18, 28 k square x square up to k to the power n x to the power of n. So we have to find the values of n and k from this from the given information. So this one, if I expand it, it will be nc0 1 to the power of n kx to the power of 0 plus nc1 1 to the power of n minus 1 plus kx to the power of 1, yeah, plus nc2 1 to the power of n minus 2 kx whole square. We just need the first three terms, so I have just written that. Now the last term I'll have ncn 1 to the power of n minus n kx to the power of n, which gives you so if I just simplify this, so you'll get 1 plus nc1 times kx plus nc2 times k square x square. The last term is kn x to the power of n. So we see that the terms are kind of matching, so we can directly correlate them. Right? So nc1 kx, this should be equal to 12x. I can cancel the x on both sides. So nc1 will be how much? nc1 is n factorial by 1 factorial times n minus 1 factorial. This should be 12. Now n factorial can be written as n times n minus 1 factorial. 1 factorial is 1 and the denominator will be n minus 1 factorial. I can cancel n minus 1 factorials on both sides. I got one relation, n times k would be equal to 12. Got one relation. Now the second relation I'll get by comparing the second term, this term with 28k square x square. 28k square x square. In the first step, I can cancel k square x square on both sides. nc2 will become n factorial, that's 2 factorial, n minus 2 factorial. This will be equal to 28. Now n factorial would be n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 and you'll have n minus 2 factorial here. N minus 2 will cancel out. So n times n minus 1 is n square minus n. And if I bring it to this side, you'll get this quadratic equation, n square minus n minus 56. Now we have to factorize this thing. So you can do n square minus 8n plus 7n minus 56 equals 0. Why minus 8n plus 7? Because minus 8 plus 7 gives you minus n, and minus 8 times 7 will give you minus 56. So yeah, this n times n minus 8 plus 7 times n minus 8, this gives you 0. N minus 8 times n plus 7 equals 0. So from here we'll get two solutions of n. So n minus 8 equals 0 or n plus 7 equals 0. N equals 8 and n equals minus 7. Now see, whenever you're writing NCR, your n cannot be like less than 0, or n cannot be a negative number. So n equals -7, I can eliminate this. So I'm only getting n equals 8 from my solution. Now how do I get k? So just plug in n in this equation. So 8 times k would be equal to 12. So k would be 12 over 8, right, which is 3 over 2. Or like, yeah. Finally, you're getting n equals 8 and k equals 3 by 2. So this will be the answer to this question. Now we can move on with part B. Part B, let's start with question 7. So there's a ballet company named Nutcracker. Last year they gave a total of 60 performances at the theater, which has a maximum capacity of 800. And yeah, they've given you the table. So you have to first find the value of P. So for that, we know that the total number of performances was 60, right? So if you add up all these performances, you should get 60. So 3 plus P plus 18 plus 30. Yeah, this should be equal to 60. We'll find the value of P. So we'll subtract 30 from 60. 30 minus 18 is 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. So P would be equal to 9. And place a 9 here. Second, write down the modal class. Modal class is basically the class which has the highest number of performances. So here, this will be a modal class 600 to 800 because it has 30 performances, which is the highest. Okay, so this is the modal class here. Now moving on, like yeah, cumulative frequency diagram is also given to you. You have to use a cumulative frequency diagram to estimate the median number of tickets sold. So yeah, median number of tickets sold will be given by the 30th cumulative frequency. So I'll just draw a line from here and go down. This gives me the value of 600. So the median number of tickets sold will be 600. And the number of performances where at least 80% of the tickets were sold. 80% of these tickets, like, yeah. So how much is 80% of 800? So 800 times 80 by 100, which is 640, right? 640 is this point. So yeah, if I just go up here, so yeah, so it for 40 performances, right? So like in 40 performances, you have less than 640 tickets selling, and like more than 640 tickets sold in 20 performances, right? So yeah, this will be 60 minus 40, which is 20 performances. Now moving on to this part. Now, after the performance, the company decides to conduct a survey to obtain the feedback from the audience. Sheet one disadvantage of the company surveying only the first 5% audience as they leave the theater. Now, if you just survey the first 5% audience, there'll be a lot of sample bias, right? Because you'll be including early leavers, right? Then it will also contain individuals with specific preferences, or people who didn't have the good couldn't have a good experience. So yeah, this sample will not be representative of the total sample. So yeah, let me just write it down. So surveying only the first 5% of the audience can introduce sample bias. Right. Next is how the company could collect feedback from 5% audience using the systematic sampling method. So systematic sampling method, like first what we have to do is just write the steps here. First we have to number the audience, number each audience member. Second will be we have to find the sampling interval. How would I find the sampling interval? Let's say you have 1,000 people watching the concert, right? And I need 5% surveys, 5%, right? So 5% of 1,000 will be 50, so I need 50 surveys. So I'll divide the 1,000 population with 50. So I'll get the sampling interval of 20. So yeah, now I'll break the entire population into like intervals of 20, 1 to persons having the number 1 to 20 will be one interval, 20 to 40, 21 to 40 will be another interval, 41 to 60 will be another interval, and so on. After that, we have to take a random number in the sampling interval and survey the corresponding survey the audience corresponding to the random number chosen. This will be a systematic sampling method. The last one, which sampling method that should be used if you have children and number of or adults? Yeah, if your survey is to be representative of the number of children and the number of adults. So in this case, we can use the stratified sampling method. So can be used. So basically, how would we do stratified sample? We'll divide the audience into two distinct stratas, one children and one adult, right? So yeah, then what happens is after that, like you can go with the systematic sampling method, break them down, and collect the number of surveys as per required from each of the stratas. So yeah, that will be all about part C. Part D, like last year, 36,000 tickets were sold to the Nutcracker, and yeah, they have given a box and whisker diagram that shows the amount spent by the audience at the souvenir shop when they attended the performance. Now, estimate the number of people who spent between $3 to $25, right? $25 is the max value, and $3 is the first quartile. First quartile means only 25% are below the first quartile, and 75% population is above the first quartile. Right. So I can say 75% people spent more than $3. So for part 1, it will be 75 by 100 times 36,000. So, yep, so it will be, if I simplify this, I'll have 27,000. So 27,000 people spent between $3 to $25. Now, half the audience spent less than $8, estimate the value of A. So if I want to find 50% audience, I have to find the quartile 2 or the median, right? And this is my median. Median is here, right? So this value is $7. Yep, here. So this is the median amount, and for the median amount, 50% population has spent less than $7, and 50% has spent more than $7. So yeah, be $7. So E would be equal to 7. D is done. Now moving on to part E. This year the company will give again gives 60 performances and expects to sell 17 additional tickets for each performance. Calculate the mean number of tickets the company expect to sell this year for each performance. Now we are expecting to sell 17 additional tickets for each performance, right? In that case, what we can do is we can just find the previous mean and add 17 to it. It will be an easier approach. That will be how would I find the mean from this data table? So I'll have to find the mid values. Okay. So mid values, I'm just making the table here. Mid value between 200 or 0 to 200, 200 will be 100, 200 to 400, 300, 400, 600, 500, 600, 800, 700. Okay. This will be called xi and this will be fi frequency. So to find the mean, I can just do like summation of fi xi by summation of fi. So for the first one, we have like 3 times 100. Next one would be 9 times 300, then 18 times 500. Plus, and the last one would be, yeah, 30 times 700. and xi would be the sum. We already know there will be total of 60 performances. So yeah, 300 plus 2700 plus 18 times 5, it's 9,000. Yeah, and this will be 21,000. 30,000 plus 2700 plus 300, 33,000 divided by 60, which gives you 550. So mean is 550. Now new mean, after you're expecting to sell 17 extra tickets, this will be 550 plus 17. That will be 572. Second one, state what effect, if any, this increase in ticket sale will have on the variance of the number of tickets sold for each performance. So yeah, so when you're adding something to a data set, like adding as 17 is added to each of the data set, the variance will not have any effect. So yeah, standard deviation or variance will remain unchanged. So that's the end of question 7. And now we can move on to question 8. So we have to state the equation of a vertical asymptote of the graph y equals gx. So gx would be twice ln x minus ln d. So ln x square minus ln d, which will be ln of x square by d. This is g of x. So the asymptote, so g of x will be defined only when x is greater than 0. So your asymptote will be at the extreme point of the domain, which is x equals 0. So yeah, will be at x equals 0, which is the extreme point of the domain. So A is done. Now let's move on to part B. Now graphs y equals fx and gx intersect at two distinct points. We have to find the the intersection points of intersection will satisfy this equation x square minus 2dx plus 9x. So to find it, we have to equate fx and gx. Right? Fx is ln of 2x minus 9. Gx is ln of x square plus by d. Again, remove the ln from both sides. So 2x minus 9 would be equal to x square by d. So yeah, we can write 2xd minus 9d would be equal to x square. I have to add a page here. Done. So if I bring everything to the right hand side and flip the equation, I'll get x square minus 2xd plus 9d equals 0. And does this match? Yeah, x square minus 2dx plus 9d, x square minus, okay, same thing. So yeah, hence proven. We have successfully proved this equation. Now, second part, they say that they intersect at two distinct points. Two distinct point means I should get two unique solutions out of this quadratic equation. So my discriminant has to be greater than 0. This means two unique solutions of the quadratic equation. Hence I can say discriminant has to be greater than 0. The discriminant of this equation would be minus 2 d whole square b square minus 4 a is 1 and c is 90. Has to be greater than 0. 4d square minus 36d is greater than 0. So d square minus 9d has to be greater than 0. Let's check. Yeah, this was the condition. D square minus 9d is greater than 0. So hence proven. Now moving to the last part, you have to find the range of possible values of d. So d times d minus 9 is greater than 0. Now to solve these inequalities, we can use your way, but it's better if we use a sign scheme plot. So the roots of d times d minus 9, so where d times d minus 9 equals 0 will be when d is equal to 0 and d is equal to 9. Now take a value less than 0, let's say minus 1. If I put minus 1 here, minus 1 times minus 1 minus 9. So minus 1 times minus 10, which is 10. 10 is greater than 0. So in this part, your equation is satisfied, right? And if I take a value between 0 and 9, let's say 1, 1 times 1 minus 9. So 1 times minus 8, which is minus 8. Minus 8 is less than 0. So at this part, your equation does not, your inequality will not be satisfied. And if I take a value greater than 9, let's say 10. So 10, like 10 times 10 minus 9. How much will this be? 10 times 1, which is 10. 10 is greater than 0. So again, our inequality value will be valid in this, in this portion. So from here, I can say that d will have the following values: minus infinity comma 0 union 9 comma infinity. So d will either be less than 0 or d will be greater than 9. That's the answer to question 8. Now let's move on to the next part. So yeah, there is one last part to question 8. So these are the two graphs, right? They intersect at x equals p and x equals q. So in this case, where d is equal to 10, we have to find the value of q minus p. Okay, alright. So if d is equal to 10, I can come back and use this equation to find the values of x. So it will be x squared minus 20x plus 90 equals 0. Now we have to solve this equation. So x is, I can use the quadratic formula, minus b root under b square minus 4ac by 2a. 20 plus minus 400 minus 360 divided by 2. 20 plus minus root 40 by 2. This is 20 plus minus 2 root 10 by 2. So x would be 10 plus minus root 10. Alright, so the two values of x would be, or like I can say the two roots. One root p, p is here, q is here, right? So like p will have the lesser value, q will have the greater value. So p I can say would be 10 minus root 10, but I can say q will have the value of 10 plus root 10. So if I do q minus p, I'll get 10 plus root 10 minus 10 minus root 10. On simplification, it will be 2 root 10, which is the answer to the last part of question 8. So yeah, now we have the last question here, question 9. So we are given a function fx, which is 8x divided by x squared plus 9 whole cube. They have also included the graph for us. We have to show that f dash x, just differentiate the function first. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah, so fx is 8x divided by x squared plus 1 whole cube. Yeah, so I'll use the quotient rule to differentiate this function. Quotient rule says that I have to square the denominator. X squared plus 1 whole cube, I will square this thing. Then I'll first differentiate the numerator, keep the denominator constant. Differentiation of 8x is 8, and denominator will remain as it is, minus, I'll now keep the numerator constant or as it is and differentiate the denominator. So x squared plus 1 whole cube, the differentiation will be 3 times x squared plus 1 whole squared, and differentiation of x squared plus 1 would be 2x. So minus, this will be this will be 48 x is 48, then we have to take this x squared, then x squared plus 1 whole square divided by x plus 1 whole to the power of 6. Now I can take out x square plus 1 common and cancel it out. So 8 times x square plus 1, 48 x square. This will be x square plus 1 whole to the power of 4. If I simplify the numerator, I'll get this thing. Denominator will remain the same. I don't have to simplify it. So finally, I'll get 8 minus 40x square by x square plus 1 whole to the power of 4 as f dash x. And I'll just have to check if it matches. Okay, I have to just take the 8 common here. Just one more step here. So if I take 8 common, I'll get a1 minus 5x square divided by x square plus 1 whole to the power of 4. This is my f dash x. And this definitely matches with the expression given here, so hence proven. Done. So the part A of this question has been solved. Now we can move on to part B, where we have to integrate the function fx. So yeah, integral of x divided by x square plus 1 whole cube dx. I can do the substitution. I can take x square plus 1 as t, so 2x dx would become dt. So the numerator will become 4 times 2x dx. Denominator would be x square plus 1 whole cube. So I'll now replace 2x dx with dt and x square plus 1 with t. Now I can take out the 4 outside. It will be t to the power minus 3 dt. The normal rule of integration, t to the power minus 3 plus 1 divided by minus 3 plus 1 plus a constant c. So 4 divided by minus 2 times 1 by t square plus c. So minus 2, now I can substitute back t, which is x square plus 1 plus c. So this would be the value of integral of fx dx. And this is the answer to your part B. And the last part. So consider a function gx that is defined for x belongs to R. Derivative of gx is such that g dash x equals f dash x. R be the region enclosed by the graph of x, graph of g, line x equals 0, line x equals 3, and the area of R is 27 by 2. We have to find the possible expressions for gx. Okay, alright, so the derivative of g is same as the derivative of f. So yeah, the gx would be integral of f dash x dx, right? So gx would be, if I integrate this, it will be fx plus c. Integral of f dash x is fx. Now there can be two cases, right? In the first case, gx can be above fx. In the second case, gx can be below fx. And in both the cases, we'll have two different integrals. When gx is above fx. In this case, your area would be integral. So what were the limits? From between x equals 0 to 3. So yeah, the value was 27 by 2. So 0 to 3 gx minus fx dx. Yeah. So area is 27 by 2. So integral 0 to 3 fx plus c minus fx dx. So 27 by 2, fx will get cancelled out, will be c dx. So the c dx is c of x with the limits 0 and 3. So you'll get c of 3 minus c of 0, which is like 3c. 3c is 27 over 2. So c would be 9 over 2. So the first possible expression for gx which we found was fx which is 8x divided by x square plus 1 whole cube plus 9 by 2. This is the first possible expression. Now we can have another expression for gx. This will happen when fx is above gx, right, which will be your case 2. Fx is above gx. So your area becomes integral 0 to 3 fx minus gx dx. Right, so here 0 to 3 fx minus c dx. So it will be minus integral c dx from 0 to 3, which further becomes minus cx from 0 to 3. So it will be minus of 3c minus 0 times c. So area is 27 over 2. I'll just plug it in here. It's equal to minus 3 by c, minus 3c. So c becomes minus 9 by 2. So another expression for gx would be fx minus c 9 by 2. So 8x divided by x square plus 1 whole cube minus 9 by 2. So yeah, these are the two possible expressions for gx. I'll just finally list them here. So this will be equal to, this will be, the first is gx equals 8x by x square plus 1 whole cube plus 9 by 2. And for the second case, it will be 8x divided by x square plus 1 whole cube minus 9 over 2. So with this, we have come to an end of this paper. I hope you all liked this video and it was helpful.